I like to think I'm a smart man. I don't know how accurate it is, but I like to think it anyway. Now, before I go on to degrade myself for the next few minutes, which people seem to enjoy, allow me to add some qualifications first. Because I do recognize the fact that my brain isn't a complete and total waste of space. I could like Michael W. Smith, so things could be a lot worse. But in addition to that, I got my degree in electrical engineering and now currently work at a firm that's working on cutting edge technology. And BlimeyCon 2019, I won Best Film for my film Date Squares. Heck, 10 years ago, I interned at Johnson Space Center. Freaking NASA! Even though I don't really care about space, but that's besides the point. Now, I'm not saying any of this to brag. I just know that there are some people, particularly my mother, who don't like it when I call myself dumb. But holy frick, have I done some stupid things in my time. Now, I'm not talking about tying a rope to a slipper, calling it your pet, or putting googly eyes on your car. No. Those things are awesome and you can't convince me otherwise. No, I'm talking about the unequivocal, undeniable, unjustifiable derps that I have done. Because, sometimes you just gotta swallow your pride and accept the fact you've done something stupid. And sometimes they're really funny. So without further ado, let's just get into some fun stories. The first one happened on New Year's Eve. I had invited some people over to... It's New Year's Eve. You know how that works. But unfortunately, the few days leading up to New Year's Eve, I wasn't feeling that great. So I was laying on the couch the whole time, meaning the kitchen was a mess. So New Year's Eve came around, I needed to clean. And as you can imagine, with the mess that built up over those few days, I was in a bit of a rush. And so I was rushing, move things around, clean, put things away, that kind of stuff. And so if I found something that needed to go to the garage, I just bring it to the garage, put it away, come back and clean again. And if I found something else that needed to go to the garage, I'd just do it. I don't live in a very big house, so there wasn't really a point in building a pile of stuff that needed to go to the garage. It would just make a bigger mess. Just bring it out one at a time. It's no big deal. At least it wasn't. A habit I have, and a good habit if you ask me, is that when I go through a door, in my house, garage door, front doors, I lock the door when I go through, because why wouldn't you? So I'd go to the garage, unlock it, put it away, come back in, lock it again, over and over and over, until the time I forgot. Went out into the garage, put something away, turned back around, door was locked. So now I'm in the garage, in my pajamas, nothing on me, locked. But I figured, no big deal. Cody's in the kitchen doing dishes, so I'll just go ahead and knock on the door, and he's wearing headphones. Noise-canceling headphones. So he didn't hear me. It was at this point I started realizing I was on my own. But it was no big deal, because I am a homeowner, and I have a spare key in my backyard. I'm not gonna say where it is, but I have one. But as I mentioned, I'm in my pajamas at this point, not really warm clothes, and it was snowing, and had been snowing for the past couple days. But, as mentioned, homeowner, so I just grabbed my snow shovel and started shoveling my way to the key. And it went by mostly without a hitch. Finally got there, covered in snow, no gloves, so bare hands wiping away the snow. My hand was not happy after that, but it didn't matter. I was finally to the key, so I go to pick it up, and as I'd mentioned, it had been snowing, and the snow had melted and refrozen a couple times. So the key was frozen in place where it was. But again, homeowner, snow shovel, ice. I can figure out this equation. This is pretty easy. So I start picking away at the ice, doing my best not to damage the surface it's on. Hit, and it's free into the pile of snow I just cleared off to get to it. And at this point, I gave up. So what I did is I went into the garage, opened the garage door, went to the front door, rang the doorbell a bunch, peeked my head over the window saying, "Cody, help! Cody, help!" And luckily, the doorbell is very obnoxious and loud, so he heard me. He came to my rescue. and I promptly unlocked the garage door. Couldn't get the key till a few days later. It was gone in a pile of snow like a foot deep. And needless to say, ever since I've done that, I've been very careful to make sure that door's unlocked when I go through it. So yeah, fun times. Just a couple minutes though, not too long, so I didn't get too frozen except for my hand. That was cold. But next story. So as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I have braces. But as anyone with braces will know, that really limits the things you can eat. I really miss crunchy food. I want nachos again. I really want nachos again. But one thing I have been able to eat is banana bread. And I like banana bread. Chocolate chip banana bread specifically. So good. So I decided to make a bunch of it. Albertsons, which is a local food store here for those who don't know, sometimes has these discount bananas where they're not like awful bananas, but they're not quite the freshest bananas, but they're really cheap and they're really good. So I just bought a bunch of those bananas, like a friggin' ton of bananas, and it cost me like $7. It was amazing. These are the things I'm excited about as an adult. Plus, I'd also received this nice little miniature bundt pan for Christmas. Things I'm excited for as an adult. And it works well for tiny banana breads. And so I decided I'm gonna try it. So I went ahead and got the bananas, started making banana breads, and went by without a hitch for the most part. I almost forgot to put the chocolate chips in, but I did it. I got it, put it in the oven, and just dinged around for an hour because that's how long it takes. But I forgot something. Not anything in the recipe. In the oven. Not food that was already there, but well, see, what happened was earlier in the week, I had been making giant cinnamon rolls. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you've probably seen them. I'll put a picture here. They're big, they're amazing, and they're tasty. But the thing is, since they're so big, is you kind of got to move the racks around so you can test them well. And I forgot to move the back. See, I moved one all the way to the bottom and all the way to the top. And so when I put the banana bread in the oven, I just put the 2 loaf pans in the top and the little miniature bundt pan in the bottom, because it fit before the bread rose. But, well, let me just do a reenactment of what happened when I checked the bread about halfway through. Oh no. Oh no. No, 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 no. Yeah, it wasn't pretty. If you didn't realize what I was talking about, the bread had risen into the top burner and was just sitting there burning. And luckily not a lot of smoke came out, so fire alarm didn't go off. That was nice. But I pulled the bread out of the oven. Bread fell out all over the bottom of the oven. Not a ton of it, but enough that it was a problem. Moved the oven racks, put them back in, and let them finish. And yeah, it finished, but well, I still need to clean my oven because there's still just burnt breadcrumbs all over it. The only real casualty was just the top of the bread. I'll put a picture here. Yeah, it is not very loafy, but it works. It's still edible. I hope. I haven't actually eaten any of it yet, but it should still be edible. Now you may be asking, but Seth, why does this story have to be told second? Why couldn't the other story, the funnier story, be told first? Well, you see, the thing is, I locked myself out of the house on Friday and then burnt the banana bread on Saturday. This was within 24 hours of each other that I did this. I don't know what it was about that weekend, but there was just a high concentration of stupid on those 2 days. I was actually joking around with my roommate on Sunday saying, let's see what happens today, but luckily we got out scot-free. Anyway, I just wanted to share these stories because they're fun. They're harmless. Just so stupid. Realize I don't call myself stupid or dumb because I actually think I'm stupid or dumb. I just like to keep a healthy level of humility. I recognize I am nowhere above being a friggin' dingus. I mean, if you've watched the videos on here, you know that already. So if you like this video, go ahead and leave a like. If you dislike this video, doesn't matter, dislike button's gone. And why don't you go ahead and leave a comment of something dumb you did. Let's just keep it humble in here. Anyway, this is Seth. This has been a thorn in my side. And I should probably go clean my oven because I'm a homeowner. Another dumb thing I did was make a bunch of snacks that I can't even eat, but, well, that's a video for another day.